Kia, home of the 7-year warranty.
Hello and good morning. Well, I suppose Shergar was going to turn up somewhere, and the news has gone global. Our horsey business, putting our reputation on the line once again. But up in Cavan and Monaghan, they're turning this problem into an opportunity.
Black Beauty burger. Holy gorgeous. He tastes a bit like Shergar, and he looks like Tiernan Og. He cooks like German hot dogs, mixed with half a Sunday roast. It's very nice with onions, even with a slice of cheese. He runs around the paddock, then he runs around me plate. You can stuff your quarter pound or I've a heart inside. Shove your Supermax, cause I've a heart inside. Feck your double whopper, I've a heart inside. Sure, if you're looking for a bite, I've a heart inside. Tell you one thing, you can't beat the border for burger. Big race later on in the day, don't miss it now. The hot dog, the plain burger, the horse burger. 6 to 174, even money for the plain burger. Get up there. Get up out of there. Yeehaw!
Anyway, who said you can't flog a dead horse? It's at times like this that you just love social media, the tweets, the comments online, our prices. Abie Philbin Bowman will be joining us shortly to go through some of them. And just one text in, security needs to be beefed up at the Curragh, and someone else is suggesting blinker burgers.
The John Murray Show on RTE Radio 1. Sponsored by Kia Motors. The Kia Sportage, the only SUV in Ireland with a 7-year warranty.
And we're joined now by Abie Philbin Bowman. And Abie, when you heard the news that traces of horse DNA had been found in burgers up in Cavan and Monaghan, what was your instant?
I'm afraid
as a comedian.
Your instant thing is, oh wow, how many horse puns can I get out of this?
Yes, okay.
And,
how many have you?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I've kind of been beaten to it by the various newspapers.
Oh, yes,
and
yes.
The tabloids have had a field day.
Yes.
Boom! Here all week.
Yes.
Sorry. So there's the obvious. The Irish Sun's gone with horses for courses. Very good. Slight variation on that in the Daily Mirror, which is horses for main courses, slightly more accurate. And somebody else had something which was what was it? Shergar and chips, which is it's all right.
Yeah,
not sure I quite like it, but some great stuff on Twitter. Twitter is the place to go to whenever these kind of stories break.
It's instant. That's it.
It's immediate.
Like back in the day, we did that. We had nothing like this.
I know. It's basically like a bunch of people getting together and like just betting each other who can. It's like being in a really big joke writers' room and everyone's like thinking actually, it's funny. I ran to John Kelly outside and he was saying to me, just in his head, he started doing the playlist straight away, horse slips and just every band, every possible song that could work in. But some of the tweets that we really liked. There's a nice one here from Hirsty's Daily Dose. Don't worry about this horse meat and burgers thing. It's all part of a stable diet, which I like. Justin the Turkey, our very own, said they will honour all gift cards from HMV. HMV, obviously, horse meat vouchers.
All right, 4 out of 10 for that, Dustin.
Yeah, I think he's done better.
Could have done better.
I guess I just have. He's a turkey who survived Christmas, so maybe we'll allow him.
Yes, indeed.
Maybe he's just relieved.
He has a
turkey meat.
A vested interest here.
Given that they do sell turkey meat as well. Will Leahy checked my horse meat burgers best before date to see if they were okay, and they're off. It's nice.
Well done, Will. Well done, Will.
There's another one. Every little helps wins the 245 in Doncaster. Good to hear. So it's quite a few. To be honest, they do actually eat horse meat in it. Like it's
well,
not.
Yes,
it's one of those ick factor things.
Yeah, we have a wonderful text here from Paula Duff in Ljubljana in Slovenia, listening to the show at work here in beautiful snowy Ljubljana. We eat horse meat here all the time. It is full of iron and low in fat. Had a lovely foal steak last night and it was yummy.
Absolutely.
So maybe this is the beginning of a transformation in our dietary habits.
It could be. I mean, it's
maybe
well
that's
known.
what they're at. Maybe.
Perhaps. It's well known they eat horse meat in France as well, and I think that answers the age-old question of why they were taking the horse to France. But there's another one I like here from it's anonymous, unfortunately. But Tesco burgers, low in fat, high in Shergar, which I think is quite nice.
Yes, well, I'm talking about places where horses eaten. France, the French, the Italians, the Swiss, the Japanese, and the Quebecois in Canada. So it's obviously a French delicacy sort of thing.
Well, I mean, look, to be fair, the French also eat frogs, and the Japanese also eat, whales and dolphins and things they shouldn't really eat. So there's kind of
and there's no risk. We should point out at this stage.
Yeah, there is no.
We're
health
having
risk.
A bit of fun. There's no health risk. You just had a bit of horse meat without knowing it.
Yeah, horse
you can put it on your
brand.
CV. You can be on your CV. Just looking at some of the other texts here, John, we need to ride this food scare out. Yeah, Gertrude says some of those horse burgers would give you the trotters.
The trotters.
Very good.
Nice.
Jim in County Clare says special offers on Winnie burgers at all major supermarkets. So it's probably adding to the gaiety of the nation.
It probably is. I mean, are you in favour of horse burgers yourself, yay or nay?
Right, okay.
John, what's your stance?
Yes, nay.
Nay, you're a nay man.
I'm
Yeah,
a nay
fair
man.
enough. Well, that's kind of the point.
And is there a class of a verse of a new song now? Nay, no, never. No.
Oh yes, I like
What's
this.
What's this one?
No, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more. Will I buy a beef burger? Nay, never, no more. That I suppose is the serious side of this. Is that there will probably be people who will just go off burgers now for a while.
They will.
Probably good for their health. Actually, it'll probably help you in Operation Transformation.
It will. Well, I'm just wondering,
nation will
Dr. Ava, I don't know. In fact, I think we checked this morning. Finland isn't big on horse meat, but maybe Dr. Ava could come up with a horse meat lasagna for our leaders, because based on what Paula tells us from Ljubljana in Slovenia, it does have very high nutritional value.
It would show how integrated Europe is becoming. That the Slovenians and the French, we would bring Europe together with a horse meat sort of buffet, and maybe we could show them just how hard austerity is hitting.
And should we? I'm just conscious that should we not though be serious faces on this morning? Should we not worry about what it'll do to our exports?
It is. Well, look, that is the downside. I mean, there was on the BBC News last night, and it was being reported as an Irish problem essentially.
Yeah.
So that is the downside.
Here.
It's one of those things that look, there's no health risk at all. No one's going to suffer health wise, but it's that consumer ick factor, and it's like anything. All you need is one reason not to buy something.
That's
true.
Abie, put on your headphones there, because I'm going to talk now to Jean-Christophe Murat. Is that the right pronunciation? Jean-Christophe?
Yes, it is. Yes.
How are you?
How are you doing?
You're not a chef, but you're French.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I've been in Ireland 18 years. So.
And tell me, Jean-Christophe, did you grow up on horse meat?
Yes, of course. There was a butcher specialized in horse meat everywhere in France 20 years ago. So, of course, horse meat was delicious.
And tell us about it. Like, how do you have it? In other words, like, have you cooked horse meat, for instance?
Yes, of course. Yeah, there would be two ways to have it. You could fry it with a nice mustard sauce, exactly like beef, and have green beans or something like that with it. Or you could have a tartare of horse steak, which then you would mean with shallots, capers, and maybe gherkins, Tabasco sauce. So it can be a delicious meal.
And have you missed it during your time in Ireland?
Of course. Every time I go back to France, I try to have horse meat. And say in the winter when you go skiing, you can have horse meat in the ski resorts.
And how does it differ in taste from chicken, let's say?
Well, it's more like beef than chicken. So, but it's very tender. It's very tasty. And I don't know, it's just delicious. But
so your reassurance to those who may have inadvertently eaten burgers with a bit of horse in them is?
Well, yes. I mean, there's certainly no harm in eating horse meat, and
no, it's 4 legs. It's no harm at all.
and it's lovely as a horse, but you got to think that those horses have probably died, so the meat is used to be eaten.
True. And have you a particular recipe you could suggest to us? What would be if we were to put a recipe for horse meat up on our website? What would be your preference now?
Well, I'd say I'm not sure whether every Irish people would like the tartare style, because obviously it's raw meat. Yeah. But certainly, taking your steak, frying it, putting a little mustard sauce. So you put a little Dijon mustard, you would put a little bit of cream maybe, and then you would add that with asparagus or French green beans. It would be quite simple and very, very delicious.
I just want to ask, when horse races go wrong in France, I mean, in here, there's a sort of a bit of tradition with a sort of a shotgun, and it's kind of taken care of. Do hungry diners just descend to have, tartare? What happens when a horse, falls in a race in France?
Well, I'm not too sure what happens when the horse falls in a race.
It gets back up again.
It does. It heads for the hills as fast as it can, by the sounds of it.
Well, I'm sure that they're looked after very well. At the end of the day, there's less and less, unfortunately, horse meat in France.
Why?
A lot of butchers have closed. I suppose people are conscious of the animal protection side, and maybe that.
In fact, if you eat any kind of meat, there's not much animal protection. Really, it's the least of your concerns at some level.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah.
But they are conscious of it, I suppose.
They are very conscious of it, of course. Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of people like people like Brigitte Bardot who are doing everything for animal welfare. Would be very conscious of covering horses.
Have you ever had elephant meat? No.
No, not yet. But I'm sure I'll try that if I can.
All the animal rights people will be onto us in their hundreds. Jean-Christophe, I'm just wondering, you can't get horse meat here? No. Well, you can now. Sorry, I should point out, but
every little helps, John.
You can't get your hands on horse meat. You've never brought it back. I mean, it would be.
Bringing meat would be a bit awkward, I suppose, because it needs to be staying cold and so on.
You're a Ryanair flight from Beauvais to Dublin, sure, that's only an hour or two. But in other words, you've never had horse meat. To your knowledge, you've never had horse meat here.
To my knowledge, I don't believe I have. No.
Yeah, but you're able to cope without it.
I'm able to cope, but you do enjoy it when you go back to France and have some.
Good. Well, Jean-Christophe Murat, thank you. And you work for Approach People, a recruitment
That's right,
company.
Yeah, we're a French recruitment company.
So you're recruiting Irish people to go to France, is it? Or French people to go to Ireland?
Well, we recruit a lot of French and multilingual people to come to Ireland, and we also send people back to France and different European countries.
And tell me, do French people like Ireland, despite the fact they can't get their hands on horse?
French people love Ireland, of course, yeah. They love Ireland because, it's very sociable. They love Irish people. They love, the rugby and so on. So I suppose it's a very festive environment to come in, and you get an excellent professional career.
Very good. Jean-Christophe, thank you. Happy horse eating.
It's probably cheaper here than it is there,
yes.
to be fair.
Anya says, horse meat is very popular in Russia. I had it there myself. It was very tasty, just like sirloin steak, except coarser, more wholesome. And Ollie Lupton says, so diet can change behaviour. If the wife comes off burgers, will she stop nagging? That's not bad, actually.
It's all right.
Yeah. Actually, we might give it an award for text of the day. Keep the texts coming on this horsey business.